Authorities in Las Vegas released a revised timeline of the recent massacre. Police now believe Stephen Paddock shot a hotel security guard through his hotel room door before killing 58 people at a concert. A spokesperson for the Mandalay Bay issued a statement disagreeing with the most recent timeline, saying, quote, "What is currently being expressed may not be accurate." Joining us now is Congressman Mike Gallagher, a Republican from Wisconsin. Representative Gallagher served for 7 years in the United States Marine Corps and deployed twice to Iraq. Now he serves in the House Armed Services and Homeland Security committees. So, Congressman, in wake of Las Vegas, Democrats are calling for greater gun control. In your view, is gun control the answer?
Well, it seems like every time we have a tragic incident like this, both sides immediately rush to their respective corners and talk about stances that they've already sort of formed beforehand, rather than having a reasoned and honest debate about what we can do. And that's why myself and a fellow veteran member of Congress have sent a letter suggesting that the ATF should look at this issue surrounding bump stocks. While details continue to be filled in surrounding Las Vegas, we know that the assailant used a bump stock to effectively turn a semi-automatic weapon into an automatic weapon. And as you know, automatic weapons are heavily regulated, and you have to go through a very deep background check in order to possess them. And we think it stands to reason that any piece of gear that turns a semi-automatic weapon into a fully automatic weapon should be regulated at least on the same pace as an automatic weapon. And I think that would be useful steps forward, even for strong pro-Second Amendment people like myself.
Just to expand a little bit on what you were saying, how do you sort of balance that, the Second Amendment as well as regulating things like bump stocks?
Sure. I mean, there's always been this tension, right? And even Justice Scalia has recognized that the Second Amendment is not unlimited. And in a society as ours, we need to be vigilant about preserving the Second Amendment and people's rights to defend themselves. And when it comes to more regulation, I just ask myself, what is the practical impact of something like this? It may make us feel good in the moment, but would it have actually prevented a tragedy in this case? Now, with this particular incident, it seems particularly difficult because this guy, from what we know so far, did not fit any standard profile that might have caused him to pop up on the radar. But what we've seen in cases of domestic terrorism is that almost certainly, even when the media is claiming that it was a lone wolf attack, at some point the assailant did pop up on the radar of local or federal law enforcement, and for whatever reason he or she then fell off. Our local law enforcement officials, as well as our federal law enforcement officials, are doing the best they possibly can with constrained resources. And we need to think about, are we in Congress giving them, and at the state level, giving them the tools and resources they need to keep our communities safe?
Congressman, you yourself are Catholic. You've been open about your faith, especially on this program. How does your faith inform you in the work you do on Capitol Hill when dealing and thinking about issues like gun control that impact so many Americans?
Whenever something like this happens, all of us, believers and non-believers, are confronted with what theologians and philosophers have called the question of evil in this world. Put succinctly, if God exists, how could he possibly let evil like this happen? And for me, that question is resolved, as difficult as it is, in the person of Jesus Christ and in the power of the cross, which literally looks death and pain and suffering in the face and doesn't derive meaning from them, but robs them of their meaning and gives us an invitation into eternal life.
Sure, so many important Catholic ideas there, and we really appreciate your take on all of these issues. Congressman Mike Gallagher, Republican from Wisconsin, thanks so much for talking with us.
Thank you, appreciate it.